of those people that's always looking for a new idea for your fabric scraps? Because literally, I am the one. I am the one that's always going through all of the Pinterest boards, all of the blogs, all of the everything, looking for new and exciting ways to use up my fabric scraps. Cannot tell you how many things that I have saved that I want to try one day with my fabric scraps. But today we're going to talk about some things that you probably already know, but there might be some ideas that you may not know. And let's get into it. Hello and welcome back to my channel. I don't know what it is about fabric scraps, but I actually prefer scraps over having a bunch of yardage. And I'll give you an example. Like, I've got some fabrics that I got off of Marketplace and also some fabrics that I got from some other places. And I have like some of it that's like big pieces, that's like actual yardage. And then I have some pieces that were smaller, and I'm more excited about the smaller pieces than I am about the yardage, because now I'm like, well, what am I gonna do with all these big pieces when I'm so used to doing things with the smaller pieces? But we're gonna talk about how valuable fabric scraps are, some of the things that you can do with them. There's so many different things that you can try. There's beginner level items, such as these little like stuffed hearts that I make, and they're not really meant to be anything except for something that's nice to look at. I originally made a bunch of them when I was doing the I found a quiltedheart.com. That's a website to where you can put hearts out in the wild and just leave them there for people to find, and there's like a little tag that says, oh, I need a home, and you're just putting it out there for people to find. I know I've probably made, I've probably made like 50 or 60 of them. And it's just nice to be like, oh, I made something and somebody found it, and maybe they, maybe they got joy in their day from something that I created. So that's what I actually used a lot of my older scraps for. Those are really easy to make. Again, that's another thing that I do plan on making a tutorial for one day in the future. So one of the things that I've been super into lately is rag garlands or fabric buntings, whatever you want to call them, but I have been hardcore into making them recently. I don't know what it is, but it's just something about being able to take upcycled fabric and turn it into something else. The fabric buntings have been super, super exciting to make. I put on one of my social medias that I think that I might make like 100 of them because they're just really fun to do. But I do plan on doing a tutorial on that one day in the future. But yeah, those are really fun to make. DIY tote bags. Tote bags are another thing that I am super excited about. You can actually see one that I've made, one out of many that I have completed in the past. And of course, being my style, patchwork is like, I don't know, it's like chef's kiss to me. But tote bags are super easy to make. I do have a couple of tutorials on my page. I will link them somewhere on here. But yeah, patchwork tote bags in general are fun, and they're useful, and you can also use things in fabric that you already have. Decorative wall art is another thing that's fun. Wall art can be in the form of canvas art. It can be in the form of like a wall hanging, similar to the rag garland, but there's a lot of different ways that you can do this. You can actually take a canvas and you can attach fabric like that, which gives you kind of like a textured kind of look. You can do it a couple of different ways. Now you can use basic sewing techniques whenever you do your scrap fabric wall art or any sort of upcycle project. You can sew, you can use glue. There's nothing wrong with glue. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. You can use things that you already have around your house. I mean, that's the whole thing with upcycling, is to where you don't have to buy anything new. I personally am like, okay, what can I do and what can I use that I've already got? We are kind of like a crafting kind of household. We used to do cosplay back in the day, so we have acquired certain tools and certain materials that have helped us in future endeavors with crafting. So that's been cool, but that is definitely not necessary if you want to get into making scrap fabric art and scrap fabric projects. Keeping your scraps organized are going to help it to where you can use those scraps in a future project. Organizing your fabric can go in a couple of different ways. You can actually organize it by size. You can organize it by color. You can do a combination of both. Otherwise, if they're all jumbled up like mine might be, it makes it less likely that you can just sit down and go right into a project. Another thing that is helpful to find ideas on scrap fabric projects is to join different communities. There's lots of groups on different social medias that you can either follow or join. I know that I have joined quite a few, and it is so inspiring to see what other people are doing. And I encourage you to just look up a certain word, like say quilting, and just find some pages that are inspiring for you and just follow along. And I know some pages also have like challenges that you can do, so that's something that's also pretty fun as well. But yeah, I am always down for collaborating and seeing what y'all are doing. Leave me a comment with your favorite scrap fabric project. I'm always trying to find inspiration, and I know everybody else is too, because this is a sewing community and we all like to build and grow together and learn. I'll be sharing some more projects that I'll be doing with my scrap fabrics, and yeah, so I appreciate you watching this video, and I'll see you next time.